Hello, and welcome back to the No Wishing Until AR50 series. Last week, I ended right before I was about to challenge A, so without further ado, let's get into it. I was actually really excited to get into this fight because, as I said in the previous video, I fight the Raiden boss all the time. Like, it is actually my favorite thing to do in this game. Even though this fight is very similar to that, there are a few differences in her attack patterns. Also, the fact that she's immune to Electro is actually kind of sad because I brought Lisa in. In the first part of the fight, I figured it would just be a good idea to survive with as much HP as possible. So I wasn't really as concerned with doing a lot of damage in the first phase because we do end up getting a massive buff. This little animation she does is so cool. Then she puts us under the Vision Hunt decree again, so I kind of just gotta stick it out. I was just waiting patiently for the cutscene to start at this point. Okay, now things are going to get interesting. I wish we had more of an Inazuma arc. I feel like it just went by way too fast, honestly. Okay, now we get into the actual fight. Even though she is immune to Electro for some reason, I figured that I could get some value out of trying to Hyper Bloom. I don't know why she's immune to Electro because the actual weekly boss isn't, and if anything, it's kind of beneficial to take an Electro character, although it's not necessary. Also, for some reason, you take damage when you're at the edge, unlike the actual fight. I'm kind of glad that they changed that. It's been a very long time since I've actually done the story version of this fight. I didn't know what that attack was. I am very happy that I actually got Hydro in Lynette's burst this time. That definitely helped me with my Hyper Bloom strategy I had going on. Although honestly I feel like I could have gotten a lot more value out of bringing my team with Bennett and Kaya and Xiangling, but it is what it is. All that matters is that you get it done in the end, no matter how long it takes you. And I just find it really funny that this fight is a lot easier than the Senora fight was for me. But I mean, you do get a pretty significant buff in this fight. Unfortunately, Lynette grabbed the Electro, which didn't really do anything for me. But in this fight and in the actual boss fight, I feel like it is extremely easy to swirl Electro. And also the fact that I only did bring 2 elements that you could possibly swirl, so it was kind of a 50-50. And I am very famous at losing all of my 50-50s in this game. I don't really do the most damage in the world, so it did take a little bit, but it was honestly smooth sailing for me. I feel like I honestly struggle more in just like normal domains than I did in this one. I didn't really take like a lethal amount of damage though, which was nice. And when I did take damage, it wasn't anything Barbara couldn't deal with. So yeah, I finished her off, and honestly, I really just want to finish her story quest so I can go fight her boss just for fun. After that was done, I just kept spamming through the dialogue because I have done this quite a few times on different alt accounts, and after all of the cutscenes and back-to-back fights, I was ready to be done with it. And of course, I had to include the best boy because if you've been watching for a while, you know how much I like Kazuha. This scene was so sad, though. And just like that, the Inazuma Archon quest was over. And I will definitely do both of her story quests. I was kind of excited to get the Sumeru, but I have to do another quest first. But that will be done later because there's a Leyline event that's going on right now. And also at the same time, there was an event where you had to take pictures of different things in Fontaine. So I took the liberties of multitasking and doing both of them at the exact same time. Like, just imagine you're mid-battle and your opponent just takes out a camera and starts taking pictures of you. But because of that, I'm very glad I decided to do my ley lines in Fontaine. And just because of this ley line alone, I was able to get 3 out of 4 for the categories, so that was cool. I grabbed my rewards and the ley line just pushes Barbara to the side. I figured it was a good idea to finish this event while it was still up, so I just kind of ran around and took pictures of things. I really enjoy events like these that are just really simple and chill. Unlike that one event where you had to run around and deliver food under the most like unreasonable circumstances. Yeah, I haven't forgotten about that one. I wish I had a net so I could capture this dog because he reminds me a little of my doggy and I love him. Don't judge me too much, but I was really confused on what I had to do for this puzzle. I knew there had to be a way to apply hydro to all of them, but I just kept running past the one thing that I actually needed to hit. After running back and forth, I finally found the thing that I needed. It didn't take that much time or effort to take these pictures, and after running around, I finished all of them and got a pretty generous amount of gems. Starting this time trial challenge, I was blissfully unaware of the emotional roller coaster that I was about to put myself through. In all honesty, I don't really think this is a hard time trial by any means, but for some reason I just kept missing one of them every single time. And in order to go get it, I assumed that you would have to go through the whole thing all over again. I thought I was going to be able to get it by just like diving out of the water, but I was struggling a lot with it. I don't even know if it was possible. Best course of action would just be to start over. It was going well until I missed that tile, and then I knew it was over. Now I gotta start it all over again. But hey, third time's the charm, right? Right? I made sure doing it again this time that I was going to take it slow and be very careful about not missing anything. I don't even really know why I was going so fast in the first place. I had so much time to do it. I feel like you could just see my stress of not wanting to miss another one, but I ended up getting it done on the third try. I had to break this rock to get to a Sealy, but I got more distracted by the bird. I like how it just slowly fades away. These eggs are mine now. After a little bit of exploring Fontaine, I was able to get a second crown. And doing my commissions, I got absolutely destroyed by this boar. I knew that I was about to level up, so after I finished this commission, I just started jumping out of excitement. Then I ran into a wall and got absolutely bodied right as I hit AR-42. It was bothering me that Lynette was level 63, and I actually had a lot of XP books from the Leyline event, so I ended up taking her to 70 because she deserves it. It's actually crazy how many wishes I have saved up already. It turns out that I can level up Lisa's weapon as long as I farm her domains, so I'm gonna be doing that. I don't know why, but for some reason I forgot that there were Electro enemies in here, so I need to go back in without Lisa. I should have leveled up my Kaya because he was only level 60 and I kept getting hit by Overloaded while I was trying to get healed in Bennett's Burst, so sorry Kaya. This was honestly kind of a nightmare to try and survive, and honestly I should have done the lower level domain. It's funny that this was so much harder than the Raiden fight was. But you know what? It was worth it because I got all this stuff out of it. I realized that I was at a point where I should be doing weekly bosses so I can end up getting talent materials for later on and hopefully stuff to craft weapons because I really need that. I don't know why, but Lisa's skill never went off when I tried to get it to, so this fight took a lot longer than I feel like it should have. After that was finally over, I ended up getting Amber's talent material and a very good artifact. And it goes right next to my other really good 5-star artifact. Now it's time to go fight the wolf, which I do actually need the talent materials for it, so I might as well. I'm gonna make it a habit now to actually fight weekly bosses because my AR is high enough for me to actually get something good out of it. Because now I can actually get 5-star artifacts and hopefully I can get the stuff to make craftable weapons too because I really need those. After I finished fighting the wolf, I did get an artifact that I thought had potential, and of course I got something that none of my characters need. I figured since this artifact actually had potential that I would level it up, but it didn't really go that well. I went back on my catch grind and luckily the 2 fish that I needed were there, so now I could finally go get the weapon. It took so long, but honestly, it was worth it. I was so happy to be done with fishing, but then I realized to refine it, I'm gonna have to go fishing again. I got it up to level 20 and then realized I would have to do the domain to ascend it, but luckily it was on the day that I got the weapons, so that was nice. But before that, I went to go level up my tree and got 2 Acquaint Fates. I did not check what was going to be in this domain, so when I saw the Pyro Slimes, I realized that I probably made a mistake. So I figured that I might as well finish this run and then go back in with a different team comp so it would be better for me, but when I was in the middle of doing the domain, daily reset hit, which means if I actually left, I wouldn't be able to get the materials I need. So I kind of just had to stick it out with this team I had. Also, Hydro Abyss mages are so annoying with the bubbles they spawn. But it's okay because after that I got the materials to be able to ascend her weapon again. And I figured that I might as well just keep running this while I'm still in here. But I just kind of kept running into bubbles. After I got a sufficient amount of resources, I realized that I was gonna have to go fight some monsters. I kind of wish that I had started pre-farming this in advance, but I didn't think that far into the future, so I had to run around and fight a lot of these rune sentinels and the specters. I'm not going to include all of the fights that I did because I pretty much did every single one that was marked on the map. And I will probably have to keep farming these for quite a while. But it's worth it because I want Xiangling to have a really good weapon. It was also funny, I kept getting knocked over because of the overload. And after all that was done, I ascended it and leveled it up. The next time I logged in, it was actually during the anniversary, and I was really happy to get my first little pet. And there was a web event where you could actually see the progress you made, and I was really excited, even though I haven't had this account for that long. They started off by showing you the first time that you played, and honestly, it's kind of crazy thinking about how fast the time has gone by. Like, obviously I haven't had this account for that long, but it feels like I just started it yesterday, honestly. I thought this was funny because what do you mean last year? It goes to show that I haven't been playing on this account every day, but I honestly don't want to rush things and just kind of enjoy the journey. I think that this was actually kind of funny because they just straight up exposed me for being lazy. And of course it was always good to see my favorite characters. Like, can we just talk about how adorable Kazuha is here? Like, I just love him so much. I like how all the characters that they showed here are pretty much the only ones that I have. I mean, except for Amber. And honestly, it's been really fun playing as them because a lot of these characters I don't use on my main account. I love how the Traveler's my only 5-star. Yeah, I'm aware that I don't have any 5-star weapons because I have not wished yet. I've been working on getting name cards, okay? This was not at all surprising to me because like 3 of my characters need that boss. This kind of made me laugh because I only fought the wolf 2 times, and that was the highest amount of clears. And this part was also funny because it just looks so underwhelming because I haven't done much of the Abyss. And yeah, that about sums it up. I like how adorable the Chibi Lynette looks too. And now we go back on the grind of hitting AR50. But before we do that, we obviously gotta equip the cute little Octo baby. It's so cute, I love it. And since we just got the 4.1 update, now we have a new way to do commissions. I went to go fight Storm Terror again because the week had reset and I had a lot of resin to burn. It must have been my lucky day because I actually got a really good artifact. I was so happy. I also got a bad artifact, but I got Bennett's talent material. I was kind of nervous leveling this up because I wanted it to go mostly in crit rate and crit damage, but there really wasn't a wasted stat, and it actually rolled surprisingly well. And this is my first actually good artifact that I have. And after a while, I got enough materials to actually be able to ascend and level up the catch again. Since I fought that domain a bunch of times, I actually was able to prepare for the next time I'm able to ascend it. And I leveled up Xiangling to 70 because she deserves it. And I was going to level Lisa up to 70, but I actually ran out of Mora. Honestly, I wasn't really paying attention to how much Mora I had, and I didn't think I was about to run out, but I guess I was wrong. So now we gotta farm ley lines. I only really had to do that one ley line to get enough Mora to be able to get her to level 70, but after I did that I was broken not just Mora, but also XP books. Also, there was an event going on where we got to like swim around and collect some jellyfish. The sound this made was so satisfying to me. I just love doing like chill events like this, where you just don't really have to put a lot of effort in and you get free Mo gems because of it. I just wanted to unlock the Statue of the Seven, and I really didn't care about helping that dude. But because of him, I wasn't able to unlock the statue until I got out of combat. But I still didn't feel like helping him right now, so I just tried to get out of combat. Now we got a whole new area to explore. But I'm way too lazy to do that right now. Honestly, I haven't even really explored it that much on my main. I've been really enjoying this new commission system. I went to go do the story quest for A, and I just wanted to like keep walking in front of her and get in her way. She was trying her best to get around me, but I was not going to let that happen. She also really wanted me to take a picture of her, but of course the second I did, she decided she wanted to blank. But she liked the picture, so that's all that matters. And now I get to do her second story quest and unlock her weekly boss. But I'll probably do that later because that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all. It was very nice to be able to do the anniversary event and see how far we've come. We still have so much more progress to make, but I'm very excited. Here are my updated wishing funds. We have quite a lot of wishes stacked up and I'm very excited to be able to use them, but I still don't really know what banner I should do them on. I'm thinking of just pulling for standard characters only, so let me know if you like that idea, and then I could keep making content on this account. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you next week. Bye for now.